All right. And we are live.
Hi.
The Wellness and Weight Loss for Women podcast episode. Ooh, I think it's 19. Well, it's the pre-holiday episode.
Yes.
I think it's number 19. Either way, we're doing this today, so it doesn't matter what number it is. We'll figure that out later. So you're watching on video, either in real time, live on our Facebook news feed, and we're gonna hit the audio. Here we go. Audio's coming on. You're listening to the, I gotta get my, you're listening to the Wellness and Weight Loss for Women podcast episode. We believe it's number 19. We're gonna have to double check it, but I'm here with Coach Maddie. We think it's number 19, but we're gonna call it the pre-holiday episode because it's December 12th. So another 13 days and it is his birthday. Christmas, the Mass of Christ, right? Everybody knows it is Christmas.
2 weeks.
Yeah. So, special day. One celebrated by almost everybody around the world because it is a big day. It's an important day. Unfortunately, it loses a lot of meaning, so we want to try to bring meaning to it, the real essence of it, but also give people some actionable advice and tips today to not only survive through the holiday season, but to also thrive, maybe. Right, so as you can see, this is totally unscripted, unrehearsed. We don't even have notes in our hands for this one, right? So I caught Maddie off guard. So it's not survive, but we're gonna have you thriving through these holidays. And even if you're watching this after the fact, what we share today is going to be applicable all year round because you still want to thrive all year round, even when there are other birthdays, vacations, events, parties, you name it. We still have to employ these same principles, strategies, and tactics that we're going to talk about. So, our audio is going. Again, thank you for tuning in to the Wellness and Weight Loss for Women podcast and video show. If you want to see the video show and you're on the audio right now, you can see it after the fact. On YouTube, because we'll take the Facebook version, we'll upload it to YouTube so people can watch it after the fact. And if you didn't have a chance to tune in live, you can see it after the fact anytime you want. Bookmark it, save it, share it, comment on it. We love hearing from you. So my audio is good. You got your audio, your
It's all there.
wired, wireless mic.
Yes.
All right, cool. So, Maddie, we're coming up on the holiday season. Thanksgiving already passed us. We know a lot of people overeat on Thanksgiving. We already heard a lot of stories. But the biggest ones are coming, right? This is when people start doing a lot of the office parties, right? People are sending gift baskets of food, wine, chocolate, cheese, right? At the office, to the house, doing mini gatherings even, right? And so what do people do at the mini gatherings? They eat more and they drink more, right? And so then you have the actual holidays, right? Christmas Eve, Christmas. You have other nationalities celebrating other holidays during this season as well, right? So we're mixing in all of that. Then we go to New Year's, right? A lot of people are traveling between the holidays and they're still eating and drinking every day, right? Seeing this family, those friends, this event, right? And what happens this time of year to most people? Not everybody, but most people.
Gain weight, eat bad,
Right.
don't feel good, get drunk.
Right.
Just maybe feeling a lot of emotions depending on where you're at with your family or just your whole situation. Bunch of emotions
Right.
going on.
Right. So a lot of people are actually eating and drinking to suppress some of the emotions and the anxiety and the stress and the sometimes unexplainable emotions, like when they're in these family dynamics.
Yeah.
And not everybody gets along, or maybe there's some odd histories, or in-laws, right? Oof, the in-laws,
Yes.
right? You know, all this stuff. So people actually use the food and the alcohol as medication through the holidays, not just purely enjoying it for that sake, but they're also taking in extra for emotional reasons on top of the enjoyment reasons. So what we would like to share today are a few strategies, tactics, and tips to help maybe bring that down a bit and not have you self-destruct so much during these next several weeks into the new year. when it could be really easy because all the factors are there to set the stage for some serious self-abuse and self-destruction. So I would like to ask you, if I was a friend who was trying to take care of herself, but I wasn't really good at it yet, been trying every year, and I say, Maddie, I'm really worried, we're going to, my in-laws, for several days, and some of them are awesome, but some of them are just nuts, and I don't get along with a few of them, and it makes me anxious and nervous and stressed out, and I find myself eating more and more, and then I usually have too many drinks because it helps numb everything, and I don't care. And, what would you suggest I do, Maddie? What do you suggest?
Ooh, so I would say, always to start off with, it's, you have to be in that right mental state. So whether that means like on your car ride there, or maybe you have to take a break to go to the bathroom, just some time to just clear your mind and remind yourself of why you are where you're at. So you're hanging out.
Like when you're there,
when you're
go
there,
find a little quiet space?
Yeah, when you're hanging out with your family, or whether you prep yourself before you get there, just remind yourself, why am I hanging out with these people, your family, your friends, whoever, and what do they mean to you? And then it's just that, when you are in these situations there with maybe you're talking to someone you don't want to talk to, or your grandparents are getting on your nerves, or you have that uncle who's acting crazy or something, you already have these plans of what you're going to do. You're not going to just go and pour yourself another drink. You're not going to just go and eat a pile of chips or whatever, which then you got your mindset in place. And then you have your game plan. And then you're just going to have a couple rules. Maybe you hold yourself accountable. Don't just stand over all the snacks the whole time and chit chat. Get yourself a plate, put everything on there that you want, and you don't have to stay away from everything that's unhealthy, but make sure you get some good options, whether it's eating some fruit or getting some type of protein that may be available. I know options can be limited this time of
sometimes,
season. Yeah. And I do know for me, my family has what we call Grandma Gutman cookies, and we only make them this time of year. You have to let the dough sit overnight. It's a whole process. I'm actually the one making them this year because my grandma is on a month cruise.
Oh, wow.
I'm borrowing her KitchenAid
Nice.
for this month, and was gonna make them last weekend with my mom and brothers, but they're sick, so it's all me this year.
Right.
But it is so yummy, and my whole family makes fun of me because what I do is I'll get the cookie and I will slice it into 4 or 5 pieces. It's kind of like a shortbread cookie with this nut mixture in the middle, and I slice it in 5 pieces.
And you enjoy each slice.
I enjoy
instead
it.
of 5 big cookies.
Yes,
right?
and I like black coffee, so I have a little cup of black coffee to even out the sweetness of the cookie.
Nice.
And I just sit
So
there.
you enjoy that fully
yes.
instead of pounding down a
and
bunch.
I feel so satisfied afterwards.
You
Really,
take your time to enjoy it. Yes.
And
Savor the bites.
Yes, and honestly, sometimes I get down to that one last piece or last 2 pieces, and I'm really just
You're good.
I really don't even need it.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff there. So the keys mentioned: pre-plan, premeditate, right, and pre-rehearse.
Yes.
Right. So all those were tied into all the things you said. We covered these in the past, and they apply during the holidays.
Yes.
Right. Having a plan, thinking things through beforehand, deciding what you're going to do ahead of time when so-and-so irritates you, or when crazy uncle or aunt just makes you so agitated inside because of how they are.
Know your triggers.
Yeah, know your triggers, be at peace with them, and already know what you're going to do, how you're going to respond internally to that outside trigger. Right?
And if you have a significant other, maybe it's always good to let them know your game plan also. And so then you have someone who you can, 1, find comfort in, 2, hold you accountable, and make sure let them know, don't call me out and embarrass me in front of my whole family if you see me eat something. Don't embarrass me to hold me accountable.
Be
But
part of the team.
yeah.
Right? So yes, enlisting your partner, whoever that might be, for understanding, accountability, and support. Right? If you don't have that conversation, you risk not having those, which
Yes.
makes it a million times harder.
Yes.
Right? Now, if you can't do that with your significant other, your
Mhm.
partner, because sometimes that's not possible, they're on a
Correct.
different page, find somebody,
Yes.
whether it's a sister, a friend, a cousin, an aunt, whoever. Like sometimes it's a niece or
Yes.
a nephew, right? Sometimes that relationship works. So find somebody.
Even if it's someone you just have to like go to the bathroom, send a quick text message to,
Right.
and just like, hey, please remind me why I'm doing X, Y, Z, or like, and then there's always at least one person out there who can say something positive to help you get through.
Perfect. So, ready for mine?
Yes.
Alright, so there's a bunch here, but the real key, and I wrote about this yesterday, I shared it on my Facebook, is no matter what you're doing during the holidays, you want to put yourself into the future. January 1st, the morning of January 1st, picture yourself waking up. Literally, like meditate on it. You're waking up on January 1st, 2020, right?
New decade.
Totally new, 2020. When you wake up that morning, how do you want to feel? What do you want to be saying to yourself? What do you want to do that morning, that day of the new year, right? And so if you are honest with yourself, or if you're like the rest of us or most of us, you want to wake up feeling excellent. You don't want to be hungover. You want to wake up feeling like, yeah, I'm doing great. Like not, oh man, I just gained 6 pounds over the last 4.5 weeks. Like think of the state of mind you're going to be in. Literally, how do you want to be? Do you want it to be like years of past, where you wake up like so down on yourself, and you're like, oh, now I gotta get started. And most people don't even have a plan. Like most of it was wishful thinking. Oh, I'm gonna start the new year, my resolution. This is the one. This time I'm doing it. Most people don't even have a plan. Like they start making the plan when they wake up on the 1st feeling so crappy. Right? Well, now I gotta decide what I'm gonna do. Well, then I'll start looking around and doing my homework, right? We know how that ends up. 3 weeks, they're done, or 5 weeks, they're done, or 2 months, they're done. They're back to their old ways, right? Happens to just about 80-something% of the people who get started. So the key is to look into the future, think about January 1st, that morning you wake up. How do you actually want that to go down? What do you want it to look like? How do you want it to unfold? Right? What do you envision being the best way to wake up that day? And what do you do the rest of that day? You go out for a walk. Are you working out with your new fitness DVDs? Or if you're local, are you coming to the studio for small group personal training or one-on-one personal training? Or are you using us remotely? Are you using whatever, one of our home gym systems or something else? Are you going out hiking with your family? Are you taking them for a bike ride, depending on the climate where you live? Got to put yourself in your shoes in the future and then decide how you want that to be, because how you want that to be dictates what you do starting today. If I want to wake up like a champ that morning, in gear, ready to go, feeling fantastic about myself, then I have to start implementing my strategies, my approach, my tactics now, right? And all this has to be based on, it doesn't matter if it's a new year starting, like I have goals now, like this is my life now, right? Why do I have to wait for the new year? It's like starting that diet every Monday, right? So we start now, we start laying out the rules, like these are the rules: pre-plan, premeditate, pre-rehearse. I'm not gonna overeat. I'm actually gonna only drink on the main holidays. I'm not even gonna drink at the parties, the gatherings, the events, the little things. Because when you compound all that and add it up, it's damage. It's damage. So come up with your rules. Make sure those rules are conducive to how you want to wake up on January 1st to start off the new year, and start implementing things now instead of later. There's nothing wrong with starting a proper fitness program this week instead of January 1st or 2nd, right?
Get in the routine now.
Get in your routine now. Create your lifestyle habits now instead of waiting. If you do it now, you'll start getting your exercise in, your metabolism gets better, your mental state gets better, you'll be able to make better food and drink choices now instead of later. right? So again, the key is put yourself in the future. How do you want to wake up on January 1st? Because that day you wake up is going to dictate what happens the rest of the year.
Yes.
And it sounds crazy, but it's so true. Even if you do get on some kind of resolution program, like the fact that you didn't care enough to wait until the second when your hangover is past, maybe, to, okay, now I'm ready to start this.
You know, and I think one thing that I will share is because, you know, all this planning actually has me thinking about how this week I've been prepping myself because my mom got me this planner and it's all it's your goals for the whole year. So you have your goals and you have your mini goals. It's really cool. And this week they have
Which planner is it?
It's called Cultivate.
Okay.
It's and they have this week is their prep week.
I have one called, it's the Be Fulfilled Journal. We'll share that on a future
Yeah, so you
episode,
can look up, because I know there's always, you know, people are like, well, I have goals, but I don't know what to use because there's so many options. So there's two right there.
Yeah,
that
actually,
both of us use.
I'll post the link to the Be Fulfilled one near this episode. If you don't see it now, post below here and let us know you don't see it. I'm going to share that one.
Yeah, and
So go ahead.
yeah, and so this whole week is just a prep week to prep you for your goals. So it's not January 1st and you have your empty notebook and you're like, oh man,
Right, you're writing stuff down now.
And I've had this since like October is when she got it. So all November I'm thinking what I'm gonna write, and it's really excited because
That's a huge help.
and it's already got me slowly changing to become the goals. It's not like I'm always like, for example, eating more vegetables in my meals is what I'm really trying to do.
Okay, perfect. So here is a strategy, a tactic, a tip, specific that you can implement now throughout the holiday season. It's so simple, but yet so many people will not do it, but it works. Veggies, right? We all know we gotta eat our veggies. So make it a point to include more veggies, salad items, various salads, and not plain veggies, not just steamed veggies, but veggies that are sauteed, steamed with various seasonings and good healthy fats for flavor. Bring out the flavor of the veggie. Same strategies we apply all year round, you just really focus on them during the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you're still getting your veggies in. Make sure you're still getting your salads in, your healthy fats, your clean, lean proteins cooked in a way that make them taste good.
Yes.
And then the other stuff comes after that on top of it, the carbohydrates. If you know you're gonna have dessert, then go light on the dinner carbohydrates or the lunch carbohydrates. Go light on them if you know you're going to have dessert, which usually carries a lot of carbohydrates in the form of flours and sugars.
You know when you're going to a party, it didn't
Right.
just spring up.
Right, so skip all the bread, skip all the pasta, skip all the rice or the heavy potatoes. Unless you love those and you're not a dessert person, because there are people who are not dessert people. They would much rather have the food carbohydrates. So either way, find your balance, pre-rehearse what you're going to do and not do, and then follow through on your actions, your plan, because no matter what, you still have to wake up on January 1st in that same body that you're in now. So why not make it enjoyable and good?
And I feel like a good example, as you know, I'll share about how a way I've been trying to get more vegetables into my diet. There is this one at Trader Joe's, I shop there a lot, they have this frozen gnocchi with spaghetti sauce, which I mean, sometimes I need something quick and that I can just whip up. And I started adding vegetables to that pre-mixture, so I'll throw in
Gnocchi.
No, is that how you say it?
Yeah, it's the Italian pronunciation.
Yes.
G-N-N-O-C-H.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Gnocchi.
That's what it was. And I had chopped up some bell pepper, put that in there, throw some spinach leaves, and you'll be surprised by how many spinach leaves you can fit once they all shrink and saute.
A lot of veggies.
And
good.
so I was very happy that I was able to get those vegetables in and still taste the same.
It tastes better, I
Yes,
think, because it
and
gives it
honestly,
other dimensions
yes,
and flavor pairings.
Mushrooms, spinach and
yeah.
mushrooms I found have been two of the easier vegetables to just add in to soup.
Right, and they fill you up, they taste good, and they have lots of awesome nutrients. We need the nutrients from the veggies and salads to give our bodies the best health possible.
It really is.
So focus on your health. Don't focus so much on your weight. Focus on your health. The impact of what you're putting in your body directly impacts your health.
Mm-hmm.
Cancer stats, the heart disease stats, the Alzheimer's stats, the diabetes, you name it. Everything you put in your body, especially the booze as well, has health implications. And so always be mindful of that and let those guide your action plan. Like, you're not just doing this for your weight. This isn't just about the number on the scale or how tight your clothes are fitting or that you have to buy new clothes. What really matters are the health implications of that excess body mass accumulating on your body and around all the organs, all the extra fat accumulating. Does not lead to good outcomes ultimately. And that's why we talk about this stuff. It's not just about the number on the scale, it's about your entire life and the quality of your life and disease prevention and wellness all the way to the last day of your life. Hopefully it's, I don't know, maybe 90 or 100, right? But you gotta do the right things now. So that's what you wanna keep in mind this holiday season. This is about your health and it's about your entire life, not just about a few weeks or just about the new year. This is about everything and everything your life entails and touches, right? I think we're good. We got some good material there, right?
Awesome.
Any last parting shots?
Oh, I can talk about this all day.
I know you can. So we're gonna cut her off here. We're gonna save some for possibly next week.
Yes.
We'll do maybe an actual holiday episode and get a little bit more specific and strategic with some things and maybe some extra tips that we can think of from now until then. And that's it. So, Coach Maddie, well done. Thank you as always. That's a good strong shorty we just did. So we're gonna shut down the audio here. As always, this is Joey Atlas. We thank you for tuning in, and
Maddie Austin,
Coach Maddie Austin, we thank you for tuning in, and we will speak with you next time. All right, so that's the audio. We get to take off our wired wireless mics. As you watch on video, leave us any questions, comments, thoughts, anything you want to share or ask, post below. And if you can think of one person to share this with, go ahead and share it. Hit the share button or take the link and just send it over to them. And as always,
bye.
we appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you next time. Thanks for being here.
Thrive.
Thrive.